Hello, it's Rebecca from Silver Grey Foliage and the Flower Farming Business School. I must remember to say both in this world. We are into 2025. Welcome. It's Mulch Season 2, Episode 2. I'm excited to be back. I can't lie. It is the end of a 3-week school holiday. I'm knackered. And I'm actually practicing what I preach. I always practice what I preach. So I am away for a day or two in literally a tiny garden shed. It's insulated and it's warm, and I'm here to get some work done and to get some rest and some recuperation before the season starts. So that's where I'm recording from, and that's where I'm going to talk to you from today. Now, today is the first live, I'm just checking the time, the first live meeting of the Flower Farming Business School. That happens at 7:30 this evening, and you can still sign up until 5 o'clock this evening to join us for the next quarter or for the next year. Why is that important? Well, today and this week we've been talking about business planning. So there's a sustainability video and download to work through. There is a financial planning video and 2 or 3 downloads to work through so that you know exactly what's happening with your pennies in your household, the pennies in your business, and what you need to earn to be able to be satisfied from your business. There is also a field planning section, and we'll come to that more as we move into next week and the week after. And then the final part is the business plan, which the way we do it at Silver Grey Foliage, and therefore the way we're teaching in the Flower Farming Business School, is more of a framework model that you then put the detail into each quarter as you go along. It's much less stressful. It's much easier to see where you're going and what you're doing and to stick to, and it's much more flexible because we all know that the weather and our customers and how the season is going to go changes. Not intentionally, it does change, and that's the nature of the work that we do. Okay, so the first thing that I really wanted to talk to you about is why is a business plan so important? Like, why do I care so much about the business plan? And that's because when we first started our flower farming business, everybody said, you need a business plan. You need to know what you're doing. You need a business plan. And when I did the research, it was as complicated as hell. Like, it was such hard work. Everywhere I looked, there were more things I was supposed to write down, more boxes I was supposed to fill in, more whys I was supposed to know the answers to. And all I wanted to say was, I just want to grow flowers. Evidently saying I just want to grow flowers is not enough. Evidently saying I want to grow flowers has to become I want to grow flowers for this customer group if I want it to be a business, and I'm going to sell them in this way. Okay, so your business plan is designed around that initial urge. My dream was I want to grow flowers, but who for? How do I want to grow them? And what do I want to achieve with that? What do I want for me? What do I want for my family? What do I want for my work-life balance? What do I want our world to look like? So your business plan tells you what you want for you and for your business. Now, obviously, it doesn't tell you. It's not a talking book. We're not in Harry Potter land. You tell it. By writing down what you want, where you want to get to, you write down what your business aim is, what your business objectives are. But it's the same thing, because you're not working for someone else. You're not writing someone else's business plan. You're writing your business plan for your flower farm. Okay? The reason that we work for ourselves rather than other people is often a sort of backwards coming forwards approach. So when we work for other people, we can't do what we really love all the time, because there's always other work that our boss will want us to do. When we work for other people, we can't express our huge passions and particular love for something as well as we can when we're doing it our way for our own business. And it's incredibly hard when you work for someone else to get the opportunity, and it does happen every now and again, but to get the opportunity to do exactly the part of the work that you want to be doing, the bits that you love and nothing else, because it's not your business. And so whilst you'll have a job description, there will be other things that need doing. And the final part for me is that when you work for someone else, no matter how flexible your job plan is, no matter how kind your boss is, you always will be working to their timetable and their approach. So if you're going to write a business plan for your business that you want to grow, literally, and that you want to be happy working in, then surely it makes sense for that business plan to reflect you. Your dreams, your hopes, your intentions, your aspirations for your family, your work-life balance, your life. Your business has to be designed to get you there. Okay? Sounds obvious, but I don't think it always is, which is why I'm spelling it out and I'm putting it down here in the podcast. Okay, so for me, the next thing about a business plan is that if you're going to have one, you may as well use it. There is absolutely no purpose, and that's not the phrase I want to use, but I do need to keep this clean. There's just no purpose to writing a business plan and then having it sat on a wall or in a cupboard or on a shelf or saying, it's at the front of my planner, if you're not going to flipping use it. Like, what is the point in putting in that time? And that's the real challenge, the biggest challenge that I found when I tried to follow all the instructions I found from various other sources. Okay, I wanted to have a business plan that was actually usable and wasn't so rigid that I constantly felt behind. It wasn't so structured that I constantly felt like I wasn't achieving like anywhere near what I'd written down on paper. And part of the problem with that is that when you write a really detailed plan, you put everything into it that you possibly can. But the reality is that Rome was not built in a day, and a year is 52 weeks long, and so you can only do 52 weeks worth of work. Okay, you can't do more than that. And the reality is that unless you want to burn out and you want to kill yourself trying, then there is only so much you can do. And so I really struggled with having a business plan that actually made me feel like I was failing all the time. Okay, that's not how I want to feel in my business. I want to feel like I'm able to make decisions. I want to feel like I'm not restricted. I want to feel like I'm moving forward all the time. And so the approach that we use at Silver Grey Foliage and with the Flower Farming Business School, the approach that we're teaching is a framework that we're then taking to the quarter and thinking, well, what can I realistically get done? What do I definitely think I can get done? And then what's a bit stretchy? What might I aim for that will help me move even further forward? And when we're looking at that business plan, there's always going to be an element of what's useful for the next stage. Always. What's useful for the next stage? So that when we get to that next stage, we're feeling ready, we're feeling prepared. And that makes us feel even more eager and excited because it means we know that we're getting stuff done. We know that we're moving forward. Okay? So that initial framework, your business plan, is loose. It does have structure, but that structure is designed to help you make decisions. It's designed to help you say yes and, more importantly, to say no. Okay, so I just said your business plan is there to help you say no. So that seems like a really odd thing to say. We grow flowers for our customers. Fact. Okay? And we want to be able to earn what we need now and maybe have a little bit left over for the future. Okay? I'm probably one of the rare flower farmer types who actually talks about money because much as I love what I do need to earn money from it. And so money does come into a lot of our conversations because it's realistic, unless you don't need it, in which case I'm not going to lie, I'm slightly envious. Even though I enjoy my work, I'm slightly envious if you don't need the money. Most of us are growing flowers with the purpose of earning a living. Okay, so your business plan is absolutely there to help you to say yes, to encourage in and to invite in the people that you want to work with. But it's also there to help you to confidently say no to the work that you don't want to do. Okay, so when we write that business framework, that business plan, it's there to help you to work out what you do want to do, who you do want to work with, how you want to work with those people, how you want to work for those people, and how you want your business to progress in the future. So it helps you to decide what you do want to do, but it also means that if you're offered work and you say, well, does it fit into category A? And the answer is no, you can just stop there. And does it fit into category B? Well, not really. Then you can stop there. And if it does, then brilliant. So you've got past barriers A and B, and you get to decision point 3. Does it fit with how I want to work? Well, yes, perfect. Let's crack on and say yes, if you have capacity. And if the answer is no, then you say no. Now, saying no is hard. The thing that I've learned to say no to 2 things. The first is full-scale weddings. Not because I don't have the skills, I do. And I love them. I love having these ideas and concepts in my brain, and I love the creativity that goes with it. I love putting them together. I feel exhausted at the end. And that's okay, because there's a bit of downtime before the next one. However, a full-scale wedding takes a lot of time and energy, more time and energy than the majority of brides will ever realise, and grooms, for that matter. And so, in particular for me, it takes up a lot of weekend time. And at the moment, my children need me at the weekend, and I am loving the opportunity, exhausting as it is, the first time in my working life to actually be able to have weekends with my children. And so I'm declining full-scale weddings. Not because I can't, but because it doesn't fit with my business plan. And my business plan is fixed around my dreams, and my dreams at the moment, and they will change, and my children's needs will change. But at the moment, my dream is to be around at the weekend to be with my family. Okay? So that's made it easier for me to say no, because I know my reasons. But as a business owner, and as a seasonally working business owner, it's still hard, because I know that I have a long season. Our season starts at the back end of February and goes all the way through until December. But I still know there are 2 months of the year when I don't have any money coming in, which means that I need to be planning for that, which means that I need more money to come in between February and December so that I can also have a wage and pay my member of staff between January and February. Okay? And so it's really hard saying no to perfectly well-paying business that I can do. But here's the thing. When I say yes to work that I want to do, I end up putting it off. When I say yes to work that I don't want to do, I end up hating the preparation. When I say yes to work that I'm less keen on, I end up working even harder to make sure that I've produced work that I know my customers will be happy with. And even though I can see that it might look good, and the feedback is really positive, I'm not happy with it because I haven't enjoyed the process. And so I end up resenting the work, and even though it's earned fabulous money, I'm not happy. And I want to work for myself and be happy doing so. I don't want to work for myself and be miserable. I may as well go and work in one of my previous jobs. Like, why would I do that? Okay, so saying yes to those bits of work that I don't want to do doesn't have a positive effect on me. And the further annoyance is that when you say yes to work that you don't want to do, and something comes along that you do want to do, and you have to say no because you don't have the capacity, my goodness, that hurts. And not only does it hurt, you end up resenting the thing that you don't want to do that you're doing because you've agreed to and you've accepted it and that's your contract, and you end up resenting it more. It is hard saying no. But the discomfort of being able to say no because it doesn't fit within your business plan avoids the resentment of doing work that sucks the joy out of life. Okay? The purpose of your business plan is to make it clear time and time and time again to yourself and to others what work you do want to do and what work you do well and what work will always offer you and your customers the greatest fulfillment. So it's there to help you to advertise and market yourself, and it's also there to help you make those decisions that say, actually, no, this isn't for me. Hard as it isn't for me. Okay, so that is what we've been working on this week in the Farming Business School Online. So when I was putting together the notes for this podcast, I also wanted to share with you that having your own business, and particularly a flower farming business, is a huge opportunity to bring joy to your world. When you work in other works or other businesses, it is not unreasonable to expect to have to do things someone else's way. As flower farmers, we have a tendency to fall into the trap of doing what we expect a flower farmer should be doing. So often when flower farmers start, and you're at the beginning of your business, and often in the middle of your business too, we'll grow and we'll offer bunches and bouquets. We'll deliver bunches and bouquets and DIY weddings and full-scale weddings. We'll offer a funeral flowers, and we'll also sell from the local shop. And yes, I'll cut you a bucket for tomorrow. And yes, I can deliver for free 10 miles away, because obviously your budget is tight and mine is not. Okay? And back to that concept of discomfort over resentment, because taking the time to write a business plan helps you to clarify what you want for your business and what brings you joy, rather than the things that you feel you should be doing because you grow flowers for a living. And if you decide that it's actually not where you want to be later on in the year, it offers you the opportunity to change direction, because you know that you've tested it and you can feel the discomfort and that resentment coming in, and you can change the direction. You have grown the flowers, so you can change how you choose to use them. Okay? And that doesn't mean that when you're growing in accordance with your business plan and you're selling in accordance with your business plan, that there aren't challenges. It just means that as those challenges come and you work through them, you're not miserable, you're not resenting them, you're not hating the work that you're doing. Okay, so if you haven't done or written a business plan so far this year, and you're not in the Flower Farming Business School online, more fool you, you can join until 5 o'clock today. It's the 9th of January, Thursday. You join until 5 o'clock GMT today. Otherwise, we're then closed until the start of the next quarter. Take a moment to do this short exercise. Okay, so the exercise that I'm going to offer you is really simple. Find a piece of paper and a pen, a cup of tea, a glass of water, and set a timer for somewhere between 10 and 30 minutes. And write down all the things that you do in your business that you do because you feel that you should, because you're a flower farmer, flower grower, whatever you wish to call yourself. Okay? Write down all the things that you do because you feel that you should. And then take a different coloured pen or pencil and cross out all the things on that list that you don't enjoy and that you are purely doing because you think that you should, and see what's left. Because it's the things that are left that should be going into your business plan. It's the things that are left that you should be working towards doing more of. It's the things that are left that you actually enjoy that you should be working through. Now, there's a slight caveat to that. As flower farmers, we do need to take the occasional picture. We do have to do the admin and finances. But actually, we don't have to take all the pictures. You could get a decent photographer and work with them maybe once a year, or if it's within your budget, 2 or 3 times a year to collect photographs that you could then reuse and repurpose. Okay? You don't have to do all of the photographs, but you do need to do some. And a snap on your phone actually goes a really long way. They don't have to be gold standard photographs that are professional looking. Okay? Admin. Well, there will come a point for many businesses where you can afford to get someone to do some, if not all, of that admin for you. I choose to do my admin. I don't like it, but I do want it done my way, which means that sometimes there are delays because I haven't got to stuff, but ultimately it gives me a sense of control over my workload, over my business and how it's moving forward. And it means that I know what is happening behind the scenes. But actually, that's not for everyone. And virtual assistants do exist, or other members of your family are able to help with it. And older children are able to be paid to do it if you want to get them to do it for a bit of pocket money. There are other ways to get those things done. So it's not the case that you can cross off all the necessary things that come with running a business. But it is possible to reduce the burden of some of those things as you move forward. All right, the final reason why your business plan is so important is that it helps you to make your future growing decisions. So, in the Flower Farming Business School online this week, we are doing business planning. There is also a field planning section that I've sort of ignored that's part of that. On the third week of the quarter, we'll be talking about seed sowing and seed scheduling. So when you've set your business plan, say, for example, you've decided that you want to sell bunches and bouquets, or jam jars of bunches and bouquets, either directly or through markets or through subscriptions. To be able to do that, you know that you need to have good proportions of filler flowers, focal flowers, foliage, and any other kind of spiky or fluffy bits that are going on in your bouquets, depending on your style. You know that you need a good mix of each of those in spring, summer, and autumn. And if you do dried bouquets in winter, you need a good proportion of each of those to be able to dry for your dried bouquets in winter. Stands to reason. How you grow, therefore, is very different to how I grow. I do have a good proportion because I like to be able to supply my customers with a variety that allows them to create texture and movement and shape and focal points. However, I grow a lot of everything that I grow because I predominantly work for wholesale florists. And in that situation, it means I don't grow everything. But everything I do grow, I need to grow in greater volume than you will need to do if you're choosing to work with bouquets. Okay. Well, why is it important to know how you grow and to be able to apply that to your sowing and growing? Well, it helps you to save money, doesn't it? It means that you're growing the right quantities. You're not overgrowing by more than 5 or 10%. It means that you know that once you've filled your space and you know what's available to you. So even though it's tempting to look at what your mates are growing on Instagram, that's not what's going to drive how you spend your money. It might drive what you put in your notebook for next year. It might add to ideas for the future. But once you've set your mind on what you want to grow, how you want to grow it, and what you have space for, you stop spending money. And that means, as a business owner, your business plan is helping you to achieve your goal, which is to earn the right amount of money for you and your family and your household. Okay, that is enough whittering from me. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for coming back for Mulch Season 2, Episode 2. I will be back next week talking about something else relating to the business of flower farming and flower farming in practice. I hope to see you then. Rebecca.